Спасибо большое. Прошу.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished forum participants. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, I'm glad to address you to the International United Cultures Forum. It is our sincere pleasure to once again welcome to Russia the workers of art and enlightenment from different countries of the world. I'm confident that your professional dialogue, which is free of stereotypes and any bias, will contribute to enhancing cooperation and collaboration among states and peoples, and will translate the motto of today's forum, that is, return to culture, new opportunities, into bright and relevant joint projects. It is deeply symbolic that this year one of the key platforms of the forum is located here in Tsarskoye Selo. I hope you all will have a chance to enjoy the masterpieces and the interiors of the palace. The splendor of the Catherine Palace and its park ensembles is born from a harmony of different cultural traditions. It manifests the ability of nations to unite in order to create something beautiful and eternal, which is passed on from one generation to another. It is a reflection of a uniting and creative power of culture. These attitudes are the very essence and meaning of our forum. They reflect the importance of languages, traditions, and artistic heritage on each and every nation for the entire world. Their extreme value of diversity, which in its harmony forms our civilization. All of our forums, and today's one is already the 11th one, have promoted the main principle. They are brighter, the more intense and unique the diversity, they are richer our shared cultural heritage, they are more stable and successful the future of our planet. We in Russia know for sure national culture can only develop and enrich itself through interaction with other cultures. From day one, our country has established itself as a multinational country. This priceless gift has determined its unique cultural palette and its status as a power which is great in its arts, science, and literature. By the way, literature in itself is a wonderful environment for cooperation and communication, and we stand for strengthening communication between writers of many countries. History proves that cultures reached their zenith when they actively interacted with the outside world, and the contrary is true when society isolates itself and blindly, dogmatically believes in its exceptionalism and superiority over others. It reaches a period of spiritual and intellectual crisis, followed by a decay of culture and stagnation in all fields of life. We should seek a balance between preservation of national values and the openness to the influence which contributes to the development and progress. A mix of traditions and techniques often produces world-class masterpieces, and personal contacts help artists, painters, writers, musicians find out-of-the-box ways to apply their talents. They encourage creative thinking and emergence of new styles. The dialogue of cultures is particularly important today as we see a period of vast development of technologies, including artificial intelligence. They make today's world increasingly interconnected, open up colossal opportunities for creation, for bold experiments and innovation, including in culture, obviously. Having said this, it is our shared goal to avoid risks and negative social and public consequences, including the erosion and devaluation of rights and freedoms of people, ethic and moral norms, the loss of national features and cultural diversity without which world harmony is not possible. It's obvious that technologies help accelerate the spread of ideas. Artificial intelligence, for instance, analyzes enormous data volumes and predicts trends of development. However, I believe that original solutions which can lead to discoveries and breakthroughs in science, arts, and social field can only be a result of inspiration and genius of a human, a true master and creator. And obviously, the cooperation and mutual trust between representatives of different cultures. So mankind is to explore a new reality and at the same time to preserve roots which support. Then we believe world of the future is not a world of egoists completely submerged in cyberspace, nor of lone wolves following the principles of every man for himself. On the contrary, future belongs to those who value the love and friendship, value their relatives and family, and are aware of the inseparable ties with the society and responsibility before the society. It's not a coincidence that in Russia, many culture development programs are incorporated in the Family National Project. We believe it is a key to resolving demographic issues and putting in place conditions for personal fulfillment of the young people and its successful future for raising noble citizens on the basis of domestic culture and best achievements of the world culture. Russia's priority is support of families with children and strengthening the importance of family and its values. Our identity and the very national character of our country are deeply enrooted in the family. The family teaches, forms the character, and passes on the traditions. It is the main carrier of our culture. And of course, many of those sitting here, almost all of you, know one of the classic definitions of culture. It is information passed on from one generation to another. And those very spiritual and moral values are a result of tireless labor and search by more than 12 generations. And each and every one of them attached its world outlook to the one that existed before it. Everything that we call artistic heritage today, when it was created, belonged to ultra-modern art. Be it the tale of bygone years, or the art avant-garde of early 20th century. And the great classic writers of Russia, Pushkin, Lermontov, Gogol, Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Chekhov, and many others, were authors of the novels which were in advance of time and provoked hot disputes during their times. But these innovations formed tradition, a one that was vivid and open to changes and reflected the interests of a society. And in order for it to continue, it should be enriched by new generations of masters. It's gratifying that in Russia, today in many fields of cultural life, we see a renewal. The artistic alliances and unions are gaining a new role, including the Union of Russian Writers, which consolidates the broad representatives of literature community. Major theaters, musical and art ensembles are led by the young artists. It is a positive trend, which is a sign of natural processes of continuity. The emergence of new names in literature, cinema and fine arts is a result of our state policy. In Russia, we have enshrined in our legislation the goal to provide comprehensive support to the young people, to promote their right for freedom of all kinds of art, and assistance in promoting the display of their talents and professional growth. Accessible and high-quality education of gifted people is ensured by a unique domestic system of lifelong art education that includes specialized schools, art academies, and higher educational institutions. Every year we conduct many festivals and competitions of different kinds for young actors, painters, musicians, and dancers. We support talented young professionals by means of a system of prizes, grants, and scholarships. We pay significant attention to the development of regional centers of culture. It makes it possible to find and explore talents even in small towns and villages, and ensure equal starting opportunities for gifted people, for all citizens of our country. Obviously, a lot remains to be done, particularly when it comes to small towns and villages, but this trend is already in place, and we will definitely continue it. In the regions, we open new theaters and concert halls, galleries, centers of folk art, and traditional industries and handcraft. We restore the cultural and historical sites, and we put in place conditions for making it possible that citizens, public organizations, mecenas, and business representatives can participate in such projects. By the way, I would like to thank business representatives for their participation. We believe that our best practices in the field of culture could be useful in other countries for our friends, and we are ready to share our experience with all our partners. Together with them, we are ready to enrich global cultural space with bright events. One of them I am glad to represent today. Dear friends, we are grateful to those who have supported Russia's initiative to revive the International Intervision Music Contest. It is a wonderful platform where songs reflected the distinct identity of peoples, the diversity of cultures and traditions. I'm confident that modern Intervision will keep this creative and friendly atmosphere and will prove that true art has no borders and its uniting power is immense. I wish all competitors successful performances. There's no doubt that they will make their contribution to strengthening the dialogue among cultures and peoples. I'll reiterate, the cultural and humanitarian dimension is one of our priorities when it comes to international cooperation. This topic was raised at the recent summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, including in the context of our plans to fight extremist ideology. We know with which threats it is associated and to which terrible tragedies it can lead. We believe it is one of our key goals in the field of culture to preserve the shared historical memory which unites our peoples and nourishes the spiritual bonds with mutual understanding and trust. This year we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the end of the Great Patriotic War in the World War II. The everlasting gratitude to combat veterans and workers of the home front, millions of civilians who were killed, the victims of Nazism, the pride for the generation of winners are part and parcel of our culture, and up until this day they manifest themselves in the pieces of art, in paintings, books, films and memorials, and raise young people in the spirit of responsibility for the country and security of the entire global community. I'm confident the role of culture in international cooperation in countering neo-Nazism, Russophobia, anti-Semitism, and any forms of racism, national and religious intolerance should only be growing. And here we count on your support, on the support of cultural figures, on specific initiatives which can enrich our shared humanitarian space. I know the program of the forum includes many professional discussions, artistic meetings. Your ideas and proposals will be as much as possible taken into account when we work with our partners in international bodies, including the SCO and other international bodies. I'll stress once again, our goal in today's world is to unite our efforts in order to preserve the identity and diversity of cultures, traditions, and world outlook, to move on while supporting innovation. We should jointly create art which ennobles the minds and nourishes the best qualities of one's soul. We should prevent the vanishing of minority cultures and promote the principles of justice and equality in the relations between the peoples, making the world free of prejudice, double standards, and attempts to cancel any culture. We should seek openness and respect to each other. We should be open to learn something new, to make our contribution to strengthening and development of global cultural space, that is, to the dignified, peaceful and prosperous future of our peoples. I would like to wish you all the best, fruitful work, and I thank you for your attention. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank